Did you know that on any given day, nearly 16% of the world's population is suffering from a headache? These are some of the most common and debilitating pain conditions on the planet, and yet there are very few real solutions out there for them. What most people end up doing when a headache comes on is they reach into their medicine cabinet and they begin popping pills. But as it turns out, very few headaches are the result of an ibuprofen deficiency. And so best case scenario here, you're just covering up symptoms. What I want to do in this video is give you 3 proven strategies that actually address the underlying cause of these kinds of problems so that you can reduce the intensity and frequency of your headaches. Let's get into this. Strategy number 1 is to take a good hard look at what you're eating and drinking. It's a well-known fact that certain foods are some of the most common triggers for migraines. What most people don't know is that the same holds true for other types of headaches as well. In this study that was published in 2017 in the journal Nutrition and Health, researchers took 115 kids, all of whom were suffering with primary headaches, and they simply had them remove from their diets any frequently consumed foods or food additives that are known triggers of headaches for a period of 6 weeks. And what they found at the follow-up was that of the 100 kids that completed this study, an incredible 87% of them achieved complete resolution of their headaches simply by excluding 1 to 3 of the identified foods. Only 13% of the kids in this study did not respond to food exclusion. Far and away, the most commonly identified triggers in this study were caffeine and monosodium glutamate, or MSG. Other triggers included cocoa, the artificial sweetener aspartame, cheese, citrus, and nitrates. And one other trigger that has to be mentioned here, even though it obviously wasn't included in this study on children, is alcohol. Up until the publication of this study, all of the research surrounding the topic of food triggers and headaches had been extremely short-sighted. In fact, it had all focused on what is called single-time ingestion. In other words, I eat chocolate or I drink wine, and then within a short period of time following that consumption, a headache comes on. That's where the term food trigger comes from. But this was the first study to demonstrate conclusively that a food that is eaten frequently has a cumulative effect in the body that is also capable of triggering headaches. And the only way to get rid of that trigger is to cut that food out completely for a period of time. Strategy number 2 is to make absolutely sure that you're sending the right kinds of sleep signals. In this 2020 study that was published in the Journal of Clinical Neurology, researchers collected data on over 900 chronic migraine and tension headache sufferers for a period lasting over 2.5 years. And what they found was that poor sleep quality in these individuals led to increases in headache frequency, the severity of the headache pain that they experienced, as well as psychological distress, while simultaneously diminishing these people's functionality, both in life and cognitively, as well as reducing their perceived vitality. Pretty brutal. The good news is that a few simple changes to your evening routine and your sleep environment can dramatically improve sleep quality. And mostly this has to do with the signals that you're sending your brain. For example, there are sleep signals that relate directly to timing, and so making a consistent effort to go to bed around the same time each night and wake around the same time each and every morning can go a long way towards training your brain to secrete the natural hormones that it needs to fall asleep easily and stay asleep all night. There are also sleep signals that relate to things like when you consume your final calories of the day, sleep temperature, and of course, light exposure. And for the very best sleep quality, you've got to make sure that your sleep environment is as pitch black as possible. Ideally, your bedroom should be so dark that you can't see your hand when it's positioned directly in front of your face. And to get there, you need to do 2 things. Number 1, you need to remove any and all light sources from your bedroom, and that includes those tiny little indicator lights that are found on electronic devices. Because research has shown that even the smallest amount of light, just 5 lux, coming in through closed eyelids is enough to knock a person out of their sleep cycle. So you need to remove, unplug, or at the very least, put some black electrical tape over those lights. Number two, you need to make sure that there's no ambient light spilling into your bedroom. And you can do that either with a set of really high quality blackout curtains that are properly fitted to your windows and doors, or with a really high quality sleep mask that's properly fitted to your face. And if you decide to go with a sleep mask, do yourself a favor and find one that features eye cups like this, because keeping the pressure off of your eyeballs makes a huge difference when it comes to comfort, and it makes it way more likely that you'll keep this thing on for an extended period of time. All the better if the eye cups are adjustable, which will allow you to perfectly line up that mask to match the shape of your face. Strategy number three is don't neglect your head and neck. In this 2020 study that was published in the Oxford Academic Journal Pain Medicine, researchers did a systematic review and meta-analysis that included over 1,000 participants and 12 different studies on the subject of forward head position and headaches. And after going through all of this data, they concluded that there is moderate to strong evidence that patients with chronic primary headache have greater forward head position than asymptomatic individuals. And it's not difficult at all to understand why this would be the case. Forward head position places a major mechanical stress on the head and neck. In fact, for every inch that your head moves out in front of the gravity line, the workload on the muscles in your neck is magnified by a factor of 10. The most effective way to overcome forward head posture and restore normal position to the head and neck is to address this problem where it starts. And regardless of what you may have heard, the vast majority of forward head posture is not due to tight muscles on the front of your body pulling your head down, and it's not due to breathing problems. It's due to one thing and one thing only, and that is the muscles in your postural uprighting system lacking the strength and stamina required to hold your body up against gravity. And the way that you build up strength and stamina in the muscles of your postural uprighting system is the exact same way that you would build up any other muscle group in the body. And that's by slowly, systematically, and consistently increasing the demand on those muscles over time. And there are lots of different ways that you can go about this, with everything from body weight exercises that require no equipment whatsoever to active traction, where you are directly and progressively overloading those muscles of your postural uprighting system in the exact role that they perform in daily life, which is holding your head up against gravity. If you want to find out more about what active traction is and exactly how it works, click the link in the upper right-hand corner of your screen for a video that talks all about it. I've also got a bunch of videos where I demonstrate simple body weight exercises that can help you reduce a forward head posture, and I'll put links for some of those in the description down below this video, along with information about the sleep mask that I use and recommend. Be sure to check those out. Beyond that, I just want to thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button before you head out of here, and I'll see you next time.